Hi there, today on Typical Books we're going to be talking about new horror fiction. So those in the know that I do curate the Horror Writers Association new releases page or members books page on horror.org. So if you're interested in any of these titles, I'll have a link down all around to horror.org/new releases, and that will talk about these books. You'll get to see the wall of eerie eye candy that has all the book cover art and click through to purchase a book or just learn more about these authors. Now, April was a little bit stunted. There wasn't as many books on the roster, so I'm including a few that are on the upcoming list. But some authors have their stuff way in advance. Some authors promote their books after they've come out. And even though it's a new releases list, some of these things can sometimes be a little older. So bear with me with that one. But most of these are coming like March, April, May. Starting with Seaman by C.C. Adams. I like the name C.C. Adams. Seaman, the cover art for this is delightful. One night stands, lots of Londoners have had them, but when Vicky Henry joins their ranks, her carefree night of passion has a terrible consequence. After the act, she is leaking a fluid that looks unusual. I love that. I don't know. You know me, I'm not so much with the sex in books, but the body horror that this could elicit, the potential that's there. Yeah, I'm not a vagina dentata person either, but we need the penile counterpart. Stage Fright by Garrett Boatman. This is out from Valancourt Books. The previous one was KGHH Publishing, which I'm not familiar with. So, decades ago, Tulane University discovers a protein in the blood of schizophrenics and names it Taraxion. Flash forward to 1998, King of the Dreamies, superstar Isidore Stark, tries a concentrated form of Taraxion to enhance his upcoming Halloween concert. Coupled with sensory technology and gruesome effects, you can't escape his command performance. I'll apologize again for the knocking noise if you can hear it. I'm going to lay some music underneath, but there is ongoing construction that is never ending, so we're all stuck with it. Dead Trouble and Other Ghost Stories by Aidan Chambers, a Stephen Jones book for PS Publishing Limited. So I guess Stephen Jones is doing and like taking a name and publishing aside from the best of. Aidan has collected the best of his supernatural stories in Dead Trouble and Other Ghost Stories from PS Publishing, darkly illustrated by Randy Broker with a foreword by Stephen Jones. Pauper King by E. Stuart Marlowe. I love the book cover of this because it just elicits questions. It's cool looking, it's sinister looking, it looks bloody and dangerous, but the more you look at it, the more you wonder what is going on here. What is going on with the Pauper King? King Johannes One Penny, now living in shame and self-imposed squalor, hunts for the murder of his daughter, Snow White. As others meet their deaths, he realizes a maniac is roaming his fairy tale land. So that sets you up for a little bit of Snow White fairy tale stuff, and it does feature, from what I understand, many other fairy tale characters that we all know, love, and fear. Fractured Tide by Leslie Lutz. Now, this book and author are featured on the most recent episode of Unnerving Magazine. This is a HarperCollins Blink young adult book. For an experienced scuba diver like Sia, it was supposed to be like any other wreck dive. When a bioluminescent monster attacks the boat, she and a handful of survivors find themselves on the shores of a time-bending island. It's that last three words, time-bending island, that could draw you right in. It's the sort of book I may recommend for my niece. Walk in the Dark, G.A. Miller from Dark Imagination Publishers. This collection of tales is inspired by a lifetime of horror. From the original Twilight Zone to EC Comics, leading to Stephen King, this heritage is rich with things that suddenly go very wrong when least expected. I'm not sure if that is a collection. This is nonfiction. I'm not in a collection of tales, so it's a bunch of short stories, I suppose. It doesn't really tell much about what the stories are about, where they came from, yeah, but... The Cuckoo Girls by Patricia Little. This is from Trepidato Publishing. Mothers and daughters, sisters, legacies and prophecies. The inevitable and avoidable. Young or old, they must deal with the expectations of their twisted world. Some can't escape their fate, some accept it, and some will burn down in Patricia Lilly's debut collection. I love when an author does a debut collection. We're told, sort of, most of us. Start with short stories. That's your gateway to novels. So you write short stories, and it's very different than writing a novel, because once you start writing a novel, you realize this is very different than writing a short story. Whether you jump into short stories or jump in with a novel doesn't really matter. But one thing about short stories and collections is a debut short story collection is apparently not, like, it's a very hard sell. Agents don't like them, publishers don't like them, authors like them. I love doing them. I love collections. I love reading them. I'll read a debut collection anytime. So I'm not sure where the market disconnect is, where readers that like short stories want a collection. I'm interested in a collection. Whether it's an author I know or not doesn't really matter if it catches me, if the subject matter is what would catch me. If I read a snippet and like it, you know what I mean? Then, So yeah, debut collection from Patricia Little. And last but not least, Velocities, Stories by Kathy Koja. This is coming from Meerkat Press. From the award-winning author of The Cipher and Buddha Boy comes Velocities, and many other books. Kathy Koja's second electrifying collection of short fiction. Dark, disturbing, and heartfelt. 13 stories, 2 never before published, all flying at the speed of strange. Now, I love Kathy Koja. So that's lovely. The cover looks lovely, and I'm just excited to see some fresh Kathy Koja out there in the world, especially when it's coming through horror writers, so it's probably a little more horror forward, and to have more of her short stories collected in one spot is priceless. So there you have it, some of the upcoming horror releases for May, June, July, whenever you want to pick those up. Some of them are coming out now, some of them next month, some of them are already out, so take a look. You can, like I said, go to horror.org. I've got some of the titles listed in the description, so you can find them a little easier and enjoy reading. If you pick up any of these titles, if you're a big fan of these authors, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what you're reading right now too, because a lot of us seem to have a little more time to read these days. Maybe this list will help you line your shelves. Maybe you've got plenty on the go right now like I do. So make sure that you have an ooky, spooky day, and thank you so much for watching.